Okay, so another one on here is they claim to serve God, but reject his representatives and his visible organization.
As we said before, now that we all know what an apostate is, you only will understand this if you actually will look this stuff up outside from what the literature is that they're giving you.
Yes, and they literally make sure to put in here in the reasoning book, specifically, they reject his representatives. Who are God's representatives according to the Jehovah's Witness organization?
Right.
It's the
You talking
governing
about
body.
them.
You are
That's
literally
crazy.
talking about the governing body.
They are, as we said, Jehovah is the governing body in this sense.
Yeah, in this organization, for sure.
You know, how would that make Jehovah feel? Jehovah, they talking about us. We are the business. How would that make the boss feel if you're not, doing ABC at the job, if you're not keeping up with production, things like that?
Yes, and accepting of new light.
Yeah, or customer service. How does the customer service reflect back on the business? If you go to this restaurant and the food is terrible, you're going to tell people not to eat at that restaurant. Who does that affect?
Yes.
The owners.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. But you just put the Jehovah title on it.
Wow. So if you see in the scripture, Jude 8-11, the whole thing is talking about, I forget what it's called.
Was it Korah?
Yeah. So in there, if you read from other Bibles, it's literally talking about going against the Archangel Michael, which in a lot of religions, they believe the Archangel is Jesus.
Correct.
So that is the representative that you are going against in this. But they add his visible organization as well. So the governing body is comparing themselves on the same level as Jesus.
Literally.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize as a witness that you serve the governing body. But the Bible, nowhere in the Bible does it say Jehovah, Jesus, governing body, you.
No.
But you are literally being taught two things at once, and you believe two different things, not realizing.
Yes, the connection. Because your mind is conditioned. So whenever you're serving them, the governing body conditions you to believe that their word is law. And that if you go against their word, you are essentially going against God and Jehovah.
And you don't even realize that you are going against the Bible by listening. What does it say that men can't even, what is it, lean on our own understanding?
Yeah, we cannot rely on our own understanding, it says. So they are relying on their own understanding, which is why there is constantly these new motions of new light, because it is not
and here we are listening
by God.
Moving to our next point in the reasoning with the scriptures.
We're about to blow your mind with this one.
This is a big plot twist. It reads, "Will faithful Christians welcome apostates into their presence, either personally or by reading their literature?" Now, what you end up understanding the moment you read this literature, because we always been taught it's these lies and these made up things about Jehovah's Witnesses, the moment you wake up is when you realize apostate literature is literally literature from the Watchtower. All the stuff that they threw in the garbage bin, apostates, as you call it, dug it back out and say, "Hey, remember this? What about this? I bet you didn't notice this. Look at this." And you go through all this and you go, "Wait a minute, this ain't the truth." So what's so crazy is we are literally quoting what the governing body put out.
Yes, we do. Apostates don't have literature. I have not watched a single apostate from Jehovah's Witnesses that have their own literature. Every ex-Jehovah's Witness that I see are literally quoting jw.org. So who does have literature? The Watchtower and Tract Society. That's who has literature.
That is crazy.
All right, we're getting to the end, but here's another one. It says, "Not only do they abandon the true faith, but they then beat their former associates using public criticism and other methods to hinder their work. The efforts of such apostates are devoted to tearing down, not building up."
Little do they know, we are doing the exact opposite. We're taking a bunch of people that are traumatized and uplifting them.
Yeah, trying our best to show them that, yes, this whole situation has torn you down, probably mentally and emotionally, but you don't have to stay there. You know what I mean? You don't have to be down there. But we definitely do some public criticism.
But what do they do?
No, exactly. They literally tear down every other religion and saying that they are not the true faith. They are not the true religion.
Doggy.
And ever since we left, we have become very tolerant of other people's religions. So we don't see it as like, oh, you are the absolute truth. Oh, you are the absolute truth. Like I actually really enjoy talking to other people. Like, this is off topic, but I'm going to say it anyway. I enjoy talking to people of other religions because it's interesting to know, like, what they believe in. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be what I believe in, but it's still interesting to talk to them. Like, I can always find a common ground with them. You know what I'm saying?
All humans, we are all on our own journey in life. And just because you are at this point, like, think of somebody that, you know, is a Malcolm X, for example.
Yes.
All the great things he did, but at one point in his journey, he was a criminal. He was doing things that went against who he's known to be. Mm-hmm. But if you sit down and Malcolm X was still alive, and you can say, what's your story? And you can not agree with his story. You cannot agree with the time when he was committing crimes, but that's his story. And you're not taught that as a Jehovah's Witness. You are told, oh, your story ain't like mine? I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. Your story is no good. Only my story is good.
Yeah, because your values are not the same. And this is what's so wild. And whenever you have like a group of people that you are friends with, but they all have different backgrounds and different religions, you start noticing more and more similarities between them all. You know what I mean?
That's such a small fraction. Our what we believe in as far as religion, on top of all the other things that we vibe on.
Yes, absolutely. And even between the religions, you start noticing a lot of similarities, you know? And people who are religious, they don't always see those similarities because they kind of nitpick like at all the differences. But
it's triggering.
Yeah, definitely. But from kind of like an outsider looking in, I can see the similarities between them all. And it's just about embracing people's like differences. So it is so sad that we were once in a religion that was so critical of other people to the point where we could not even associate or be friends with people who did not serve the same God as us. Like that's sad.
It is. And it right now our place in life feels like when two people are arguing, like this person did this, or like a parent when both kids are arguing, you can sit back and go, well, y'all both right about this and y'all both wrong about that.
Yes.
So what?
It's so simple. Like, you do not have to agree with everything that a person says in order for them to be in your life. Like, people need to learn to be more tolerant of each other.
Right. As long as what they doing is not hurting you. Like, if you want to go over there on Sunday and I go over there on Sunday, all right, we did that Sunday morning. What we eating Sunday night? Can we kick it still? And back into the whole reasoning book. What's so crazy about the whole idea of the governing body? I remember learning this from JT. The main scripture was what in Matthew 24, like 45 to 51 is in there. It's always who really is the faithful and discreet slave, you know, appointed over his domestics. Where in that scripture does it say anything about years and years ago, these Christian people in the Bible? Fast forward, there's going to be a time where these group of men in New York are going to control the whole world. What's crazy is...
and lead them to paradise.
Yeah, and then these group of men in New York, think of New York City and then the whole world. Nobody from Asia, nobody from India, nobody from Australia, or it might be maybe one or something like that in the governing body. But nobody from Africa, nobody from somewhere in Brazil or Mexico. So only these groups, these people right here are Jehovah's selected people and nobody else. It sounds like a business to me.
Yes, and I'm not trying to just like bring race into the whole thing, but for all of them to be white and you have like very low diversity within the governing body that's supposed to lead the whole worldwide into paradise, it doesn't make any sense because you don't have people from other backgrounds that are also leading. Like these are men with fairly similar backgrounds. You know what I mean? And you have people in Africa or in India, like all these places that have different backgrounds that would bring some major things into a platform if they were truly to rule over the whole world.
Yeah, even if you think of the size of Africa, you can fit a lot of other like United States. That's just a little portion of Africa.
Yeah.
So Jehovah didn't pick nobody in Africa,
India,
Asia. All these people. There's what, billions of people.
Yeah, South America. You literally have one black brother on this panel, and the rest of them are white. That makes no sense for it to represent a worldwide organization.
And that one black brother got there in like 1999. So at the last minute, it's like, oh, we might need to throw him in there too, just so we don't look bad. But you could at least evened it out, grabbed a brother from Asia, threw him in there, a brother from South America. It could have at least been a little more believable. It would have been harder for me to wake up, because that's what woke me up. Like,
like, why does
wait a minute, man. Like, Jehovah doesn't care about color. Well, why did he make so many different colors then? Our final one on the reasoning book with apostasy. How serious is apostasy? Will we get in our comments, you guys are apostates?
Yes.
You're right, we are. Booga booga booga, we're gonna get you.
We don't mean to play that down, but like, yeah, obviously, like,
you don't say. And why are you here? You are not being a good servant, and you're not gonna make it to paradise and play with penguins and llamas if you keep watching these videos. We apostates. Yeah, booga booga, we gonna eat you. Like, so what?
Literally, I literally, because we know the real definition now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we left a religion. Whoop-de-doo.
We're apostates. Yeah. I can't believe that people will just rightfully just comment apostate. No kidding.
Yeah, we having a party over here, apostate party. It's fun. Everybody, man, it's the best. Listen, we got lied to about apostasy, and when you finally get there, it's like the time of your life.
Yeah, it's, whenever you're like within the organization, using those words, they hold so much meaning and so much power. You know, and then once we left, like, it doesn't hold power to us anymore. You know, so, and we also went on an inner self journey. So the things that other people say to us don't hold very much power, because we already know ourselves. You know what I mean? Exactly. There's nothing that you can tell me that I don't already know about myself.
And that's true. People don't understand when we say, like, we don't live in fear. And living and being a part of a cult teaches you, like, when somebody says something that you need to be afraid of, always believing in that has an effect. And once you realize that big major parts, like a big foundation, is not true, you questioning everything. And a lot of people leave the organization and don't realize they still got that trauma of, all right, well, I can't, like, for example,
I can't do this.
Yoga. Something as simple as yoga. You can't do yoga. Why not? Did you actually try yoga yourself?
Yeah. Have you ever
didn't?
looked into it?
Oh, okay. Well, don't say here, I actually went and did yoga, and guess what? I feel just fine. Or,
better.
You can't do sage, man. That's evil. Did you sage or something bad happen? Yeah, you can't meditate.
You can only meditate on the scriptures, but you cannot meditate within yourself. I don't know. Like, one day we're gonna make a video about us. You know what I mean?
About our spiritual journey. And the thing we appreciate is the people in the comments that have an open mind and can be like, that's cool that y'all believe that. But a lot of people have that same persona of witnesses as, I don't believe this. You can't do that. Like, you allowed to do what you want to do, and I'm allowed to do what I want to do, and I'm not telling you what to do.
No. And
you don't have the rights to tell me what to do, and we don't live in that fear. Like, we not about to go smoke no crack or nothing like that. Like, you feel me? But at the same time, with certain things, we're not gonna be like, I'm scared to try that. It's like, all right, well, let me at least research it.
Yeah.
Let me research myself and look into it. And if I know somebody around me that's into that, and I see the results of their life, and it's like, dang, this person is always positive and at peace.
Absolutely.
What's that about? Can you tell me some more?
Yes, and so many people are constantly looking for peace outside of themselves. This is about to get deep, but I'll end it after this. So a lot of people are looking for peace outside of themselves, and they don't know that peace is within you. So you need to go inside, and then you can't be thrown off by all of these external factors anymore. You know what I mean? Whenever your internal peace is regulated.
We always refer to monks, like, even though that's not like our beliefs to be monks, but monks are at peace and they don't have a lot. And a lot of times, like a lot of
they have a lot. We're saying they don't have a lot material
in the material world,
Yeah.
but them just being in a peaceful environment, they're not in this big mansion partying and Rolls Royces. They just got the simple things and they at peace. And you think of like a lot of the older people in your family may not have a whole lot of material stuff, but they at peace, just sitting back and looking at all the grandkids, and it's just like that's happiness within. And we are so distracted with society to look, you know, all right, I gotta have the newest stuff. And all this stuff outside of yourself, I gotta have this, or people gonna think this of me, or I gotta have that. But once you are complete within, I use this example and I'll end with this note. I call it the table. Now at this table, say I got $10 million. Only people to know is me, you, and these two people, and I keep it a secret.
Yeah.
I got all this money, but I keep the same car, I keep my little apartment, and I keep the same clothes. Somebody else might say, "Hey man, you broke." How do I feel within? Knowing I got 10 million. Am I going to be worried about what the outside is saying about me?
That is such a good...
It's the truth, because you can call me broke all day, but you calling me broke doesn't subtract 10 million out my account.
Yes.
And that's how you got to carry yourself for life. When you got peace within, you can say whatever you want, and you saying something just shows how you feel within. Because somebody that got peace within spreads peace and love, but somebody that's miserable, those are the ones that's going to try to take your peace away.
Absolutely. And whenever you know who you are inside, you know what I mean? You have to go through that journey of knowing who you are and truly like tackling your traumas and everything that makes you who you are.
Yep.
And then nobody can truly tell you anything about yourself. And that's not on anything arrogant. That's just knowing your negatives about you, knowing your positives about you. And yeah, you can say that I'm this. I already know that I'm that.
Yeah.
So like,
Time back in, you can call us apostates, but guess what? Your definition of apostate and what I know about apostasy ain't the same thing. So say what you want to say.
Yes.
Real deal Holyfield. But thank y'all. We want to keep dropping gems, and we got more on the way. We just getting started, and thank y'all so much for the support. We couldn't do this without we had no clue that y'all even was interested in our videos until we just posted one and the results we got. So make sure.
It's been so much fun to interact with you guys. Like, we love hearing your guys' stories and comments. We definitely have more on the way, because I would be totally... we both would be totally interested in like hearing about some of your stories. So we have some things in the works.
Yep, just stay tuned. So make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, and make sure
subscribe.
gotta subscribe. And we catch y'all on the next one.